Hello and good evening. Welcome to Scriptures and Song today. We apologize for being a little bit late. You know, you can make plans and sometimes it laughs on your way home from school. Um, Today we wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about something a little bit different. We've spent a lot of our time focusing on what we can give up for others. And I think that's really, really important because, particularly during Lent, we can have so much of our time spent with what did we sacrifice? What did we give up? Did you do this? And it should be spent on giving things up that make others' lives better. If you give up coffee, instead of just saving that $3 or $4 you might spend a day on coffee, maybe put it at the end of the week into donating it into something special. If you are making a sacrifice of your time, maybe you take on and volunteer for something at church so that you can do something for others. Today, I want to take some time to be grateful for what others do for us. You know, we're very, very lucky a lot of the time in that we have people who care about us. And a lot of times we can take that for granted. I know, even myself, I take some of my best friends for granted because, oh, they're always there. And I love seeing them. And I know that they're going to be supporting me no matter what I do, which is a lovely thing. But sometimes you sit there and you say, yeah, but I took advantage of that. Or I wasn't as happy or grateful as I could have been with it. And today I want you to look at what others do for you as a gift, not just from them, but a gift from God. Because the people in our lives are gifts from God. And maybe sometimes we can take that and understand that as Christ wells up in them, that should be a reflection of how we well up for others. So our first song today is Christ in Me Arise. Christ in me arise and dispel all the darkness. Christ in me arise with your power and your strength. Christ in me pour out your blessing and healing. Christ in me arise and I shall rise with you. Be now my vision, open these eyes, showing me all that I must see. Onward to the kingdom, you are the way. Arise in me and I shall rise with you. Christ in me arise and dispel all the darkness. Christ in me arise with your power and your strength. Christ in me pour out your blessing and healing. Christ in me arise and I shall rise with you. So on this day, look at how Christ arises in others and have Christ arise in you as well. When we go through our lives, we have so much. And somebody this morning told me a fantastic analogy that I think makes so much sense. And she was talking about the snow this weekend. And it was really, really quite something. I know some of us had hoped and wished that it was over. But she said, you know, she was driving after the major snowstorms with the blowing snow and everything. And she said, I was looking down. And it was so disgusting how dirty everything was as she was driving in her car, and she said, "Oh, this is just gross, looking at the snow at the sides of the road." And she said she had this moment where she was driving and she just looked up instead. And in the distance, she saw all of the beautiful snow on the trees, and it was a calmer moment, so she wasn't afraid of driving. And it was just this moment of peace and beauty. I think that's such a great analogy for life. We get so bogged in looking downward. How are you? Hey, is everything going okay today? Oh, let me tell you. That we don't look up. We have to train ourselves. And that's what we want to always take our Mondays for. We have to train ourselves to think of the positive. Find the good in specific things. Find the joy in what we're doing. And sometimes we need to appreciate them as little miracles. For me this morning, I woke up early. I was able to do what I needed to do, and I had woken up early. That never happens. And I couldn't be more grateful that today that was a gift. It was a small gift. One may even call it insignificant. But today, that meant a lot to me. Because I looked at it that way. Instead of being like, oh, I got up early. I could have gotten more sleep. This is terrible. Oh, I got up early. I can make my coffee. I can get things on the way to work. Everything's wonderful. Additionally, if you had somebody that came to you and said, hey, I was thinking of you, and you were on my mind, take it as a gift. If you had all green lights on the way to work, treat it as a miracle. Because these things, they help us to provide for others. And that's, I think, one of the most important things that we sometimes forget with our fellow humanity is when we're miserable, it's hard to be good messengers of Christ and Christ's good will. If we wake up and say, ugh, I woke up today and my back hurt and it was terrible and I overslept and I didn't sleep nicely and I hit a red light and I did this and that and everything went wrong, and somebody needs you to be light for them after that moment, it's very difficult, isn't it? So what I want to challenge us to do for this week is to find the light and find a way that we can be mirrors that will reflect that on others. Because we do. We work like a mirror. When we see darkness, we reflect darkness onto others. When we see light, we can reflect that light onto others. And that's where we can have Christ arise in us and give Christ's message. So I know it's a little bit of a shorter episode this week, but I really want you to focus on that idea of keeping the positivity so that you can be a messenger for other people. Now, we're going to switch just a hair over to talking a little bit about some of the really wonderful things that are upcoming at St. Paul's, and that's another reason why I wanted to cut this a little bit shorter. So we have 3 major events or drives that are coming up, because at St. Paul's we don't like just being a church where we're not helping our community. And these 3 drives are meant to help our community, and we're going to have some more information that's coming from them. The first one is we are having a month-long baby shower that is thrown by our Women's Sodality. And the month-long baby shower, we're going to have barrels outside of our doors where we're collecting goods for mothers in need. So if there's somebody who you want to give you want to bring diapers, or you want to bring formula, which is so massively expensive. We're collecting it for anybody who is in need, who are new mothers, who might be struggling to supply all of the necessities that having a new child brings. So we're going to be collecting for all of that until March 28th. So think about that this weekend. We're going to remind you as often as we can. The other thing that we are collecting for is our fifth graders in our religious ed program are doing a food drive. So there's going to be a second set of bins for our food drive, and that goes through April 14th, and we may even extend it all the way to Easter, hopefully, to help all families that are in need. And then our final thing, which I'm actually very excited about, is a book drive for anyone who has gently used books. We're collecting them also through April 14th so that we can donate them to a partner working with Martin Luther King Jr., a scholastic program, to deliver books to those in need. So we're going to have more information on all of those wonderful events, as well as a few more that might be coming up. And we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, and we'll be back to our normal 5 o'clock schedule. Thank you for being so understanding today. And as we go through trying to see the good in our world, let us end today with the prayer of St. Francis. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only love. And where there's sadness, ever joy. Oh, Master, grant that I may never seek so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned, in giving of ourselves that we receive, and in dying that we're born to eternal life. Look at all the blessings you have in your life, so that you may shine that life and that light upon others. God bless you all, and have a wonderful week.